So what do you think, Mason?
I think we're gonna push down the edge of this flat, see if there's any bonefish. Sometimes they're up in the shallow part of it, maybe sticking their tails up. Sometimes there's some schools running around 2 or 3 feet of water.
And then as he wanted to go bone fishing, he was going straight back to Islamorada. I mean, fishing close to the dock. Places that we fished, years and years ago that were really, really good. And it was so cool to see. I was like, wow, he's going here? This is awesome. Got him on, baby! That was awesome, Mason. Great eyes, dude. Oh! Yeah! Come on! Oh! He ate it! He ate it! He ate it! Nice, baby! Yeah, that's what I'm talking about! I thought you said you had to...
Got him, relax.
Oh! Dude, he just ripped my boat off! Oh! Awesome, look at that big boy! Woo!
K Saltwater Experience, presented by Yellowfin, with Captain Tom Rowland and Captain Rich Tudor.
So I think we're gonna work our way around the backside of this island, see if there's any small tarpon up under the mangroves or hopefully out a little bit.
All right.
Might see some snook.
Oh, there he is.
On a mullet.
Got him on.
What do you got there? Snook?
I don't know. Snook.
Snook?
Nice.
Beautiful.
That is cool, Mason.
Mason said he's gonna put us on the meat right away.
Oh yeah, how about that?
Nice.
Nice first fish.
First one of the
Solid
day.
snook.
Just like you said, he's not giving up, Mason.
To the very end. How about that?
Man, the sun's barely up. We got a snook and a tarpon.
It's a good way to start the day.
There he is.
Get him.
There he is.
Tarpon.
Oh yeah.
Right on, and hanging out in the shade.
Nice. Awesome. Very cool.
How about that?
Pretty interesting that we haven't even seen one roll or anything. You're just catching them. That shows your wisdom and experience to know exactly where they're sitting even when you can't see them.
I'll tell you what, Mason, you put us on the meat. That was good. What do you got in store for us now?
Let's get rid of these jerk baits. Let's put some shrimp on there and some lighter leaders. Let's go see if we can find a bonefish or two.
Okay, I like the sound of that.
I love it. So we had a great morning with Mason Baker there. Left out Islamorada early, beautiful sunrise. Got to his first spot, and sure enough, man, tarpon, snook. Had a great morning. Caught a bunch of those on jerk baits, and then his favorite thing was bonefish. And ask him, what do you want to do? What's your favorite thing to do? It was clear. It was bonefish. And so, as that sun started to creep up a little bit, and we got the good light, he wanted to go bonefishing.
Yeah, Mason Baker's a second-generation guide. His dad's Dwayne Baker. He's a 35-year career fishing guide. Got a great reputation. He's been one of the best bonefish guides in the Upper Keys, certainly for a long time. I fished with him a long time ago, and we took him fishing down in the Lower Keys, and I paid attention to what he taught us for years, and it really paid off. So it's really cool to see his son coming up and be able to fish with his son, Mason. And Mason wanted to go bone fishing. And he also saw that we had the perfect day for bone fishing. The light wind, post-frontal conditions, we had low humidity, just an incredible day to be out there. And we had perfect sun for the entire day. And that's so important for those bonefish, especially for some of the places that he was taking us to fish, because the water was deeper. And the deeper the water, the harder they are to see.
Definitely hard to see it. He was dialed in though. I mean, we'd fished a couple islands in the back country there in the morning, and then as he wanted to go bone fishing, he was going straight back to Islamorada. I mean, fishing close to the dock. Places that we fished, years and years ago that were really, really good. And it was interesting to see the first spot he pulled up was one that, I'd fished many, many times, but I haven't fished in 20 years, honestly. And it was so cool to see. I was like, wow, he's going here? This is awesome.
I think we're gonna push down the edge of this flat, see if there's any bonefish. Sometimes they're up in the shallow part of it, maybe sticking their tails up. Sometimes there's some schools running around 2 or 3 feet of water.
I'm glad to see him back here.
Yeah.
It's a good spot.
And, what do you want to go with for
we'll go 2 shrimp.
Shrimp. Got it.
Hand me one there, Rich.
Not a big shrimp, hook on a medium. Don't want too big of a splash.
He's like, all right, see that little stick there? They're gonna be right over here. Talk about calling the shots. Sure enough, it didn't take long. He's like, I see a little puff of mud. Oh, I think that's one right there.
Yeah, there's 2 fish coming into the grass at 1 o'clock now. You're pointing right at them, Rich. They're in the grass, they're like 40 feet at 12. more left, more left. They're swimming at us. I lost them, but they're somewhere up there.
I got him.
You got them?
Oh yeah.
He's coming.
Yeah, big school.
They're coming.
Let him take off with it.
He's eating it. It was real patient, because when those bonefish, the one thing you can do is pull it out of their mouth too quick with a shrimp. I had that little shrimp in there and just waited. I could feel him, you know, eating on it.
Going.
Got him on, baby! That was awesome, Mason. Great eyes, dude. And then it started to reel, and nothing like a first run of a bonefish.
Yeah.
Great eyes. Wow. That didn't take long, man. Nice job. Wow.
Good job, boys.
Was that the one you have named or what? Because it's pretty. He's running like a big fish.
Yeah, he is.
Wow.
We might have to pull after him.
You might with all that shoots and stuff. Oh, and there's a shark coming too. Wow. I do have the light line, that 8 pound. Wow, that was cool. I haven't caught a fish on this flat for years and years and years.
I see more muds.
It is hard.
I don't know if it's a stingray.
hard
The
to
next one
imagine
I
what.
see is big.
It's hard to imagine, Mason, what this means to us, like to
Yeah, catching fish.
catch fish on this flat.
Flats
see
that
it
were
like that
epic
again.
20 years ago.
God, this was the spot, man. It was. So many world records came off of this flat. Tournaments won.
Yep.
People just camping here.
Wow, that did not take long, Mason. Thank you. That was incredible.
One cast, one fish, on the board.
To get more information and purchase the gear that we're using on the show, scan the QR code.
The Hawks K Saltwater Experience, presented by Yellowfin, is brought to you by Hawks K. Find what lures you. Lowrance. See more, catch more. Waypoint, the destination for outdoor entertainment. Mercury Marine. Go boldly. St. Croix Rods, the best rods on earth. And by Ameritrail Trailers. Daiwa. Power Pole. Reflex Boat Decking. And Costa.
There were so many things that were really cool about that first catch. First of all, you hear about downtown Islamorada. And downtown Islamorada has always been explained to me. You know, I'm an outsider from Islamorada. I didn't, you know, I made my career in Key West, and I had to get information from you and other people. It's like, well, just fish downtown. I'm like, well, what's downtown? It's like basically anywhere you could see the Lorelei, anywhere you could see kind of Islamorada. You know, so if you could see it, consider downtown. That's what I was told anyway. So there are a lot of flats really, really, really close to the dock. You do not have to go very far. And in fact, if you went far, you would be leaving the best fishing to go find something else, right? And there's a lot of explanation about why those fish were there, but for whatever reason, that little area right around Islamorada held some of the biggest bonefish in the world. Lots of the world records came from right there, right there. And then in 2010, something happened. Got cold, don't know what happened to the fish, but it changed things completely. So for him to go back there, and I could see the confidence that he had that we were gonna find fish here. We start seeing mudding fish. You catch the first one.
I got away with putting it pretty close to him, but that little wind helped.
Yeah, they did not seem to mind when you two casted at them. I'm surprised they didn't find Tom's bait.
They were ready to play.
I was a little bit late. He had already gotten bit, and they were already starting hard,
They were,
you know, out.
Yeah.
I did what you told me. I let him eat it all day long.
I was very pleasantly surprised at how big that fish was. Certainly not what used to be there, but man, things are obviously growing up, things are obviously getting bigger, and the bonefish population is getting better and better in Islamorada. New generation on the old stomping grounds.
Yeah.
Nice fish.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
That is sweet. That is sweet.
He's healthy, big, bigger than I expected.
Well, he ran pretty good.
Sure did.
Right. Nice work.
Yes, sir.
Good cast.
Here, got some
Had a
pliers.
beautiful fish.
Okay. Oh,
Nice
he is heavy duty, man.
That's
Big,
awesome.
thick fish. All right, cool.
All right, see if we can find another.
Yes, sir. Let's find another. You saw just
Thanks, brother.
You saw just that little dot of mud come up, and then 2 fish. Way to go.
Awesome.
Good job.
The History of Diving Museum opened in 2005. We were founded by Doctors Joe and Sally Bauer, who spent 40 years building this amazing collection, which is the largest public display of diving equipment in the world. From early diving thousands of years ago to modern scuba, everything in between, all of the different types of helmets that were used over the years, diving armor, decompression chambers, pretty much anything that had to do with diving, we've got it here. Behind me is one of my personal favorites. I call him the Barrel Man. That's John Lethbridge's invention from 1715, and it's basically a big wooden barrel that a human would climb into and dive down. He used it for treasure salvage of silver bars at 60 feet from a wreck. And it really is just one early example of a machine that people would make to get down to the bottom and salvage treasure. One of my favorite pieces is a model of an early diving bell created by Edmund Halley from 1691. This was a very early piece of diving technology. The only way that you would know if your oxygen was running low was a candle inside the diving bell, and when the candle started to dim, that's when you knew your oxygen was running low and you would signal to the ship to bring more down. So it was a wooden bell weighted by lead with an air hose controlled by a bellows that you would pump to a lead helmet on your buddy's head outside looking for treasure or pearls or sponges or whatever you were diving for. And then as you progress through the exhibits, you'll see the evolution of the diving helmet that we use today, that commercial divers are using right now, 300 feet underwater on an oil rig. And they use the exact same setup as 1691. Obviously there are a number of improvements. It's a lot safer as well. But the fact that it's really the same setup that we used almost 400 years ago is really amazing to me. I think the Mark V diving helmets that we have a number of are one of the most iconic pieces of diving history. When you think of vintage diving, a lot of people will conjure up that classic image of that big brass helmet with the grated front. So that's something people are more familiar with. But then in addition to those helmets, we also have things that people have never seen before, like our diving barrel or the diving armors that look like robots and aliens and these just amazing designs, because the world of diving is not just limited to one piece of technology. It's centuries of progress and different people trying different things that they had no idea if they would work, and just building off the creations of other people to go deeper, dive longer, and discover something new. A big part of the History of Diving Museum is our twice-a-year featured exhibits. In the first half of the year, from January to April, we always do a Dive into Art exhibit, and that works with many local schools who are actually creating artwork, usually around a theme of conservation of different types of habitats. So we do a lot of community outreach with a focus on conservation of the oceans. We also welcome school field trips, as well as other types of tour groups, adults alike. And if you wanted to come down and bring a group, we'd be happy to give you a tour so you can see all of the highlights of our exhibits and learn more about them.
So after you caught your bonefish, thinking, you know, the way that I remember downtown Islamorada and those particular spots is if you caught one fish off of that spot, pretty good day already. I mean, like, if you went out there to that place and you caught multiple bonefish, that was a great day, right? Great day. So I'm kind of thinking, man, we have done it. We caught one of these fish at this place that is legendary for being very, very difficult. I'm kind of thinking, we're gonna be lucky to catch another fish. And you release your fish, get baited up again. I'm standing on the cooler and Mason's like, oh, there's some right there.
There's gotta be. Yeah, there's fish.
There they are, whole school. 20 of them, I'm in them.
I might be behind them.
Yeah,
No,
you're gonna be in them, Tom.
I'm in them. Come on, pick it up. Coming back.
Yeah, they're swimming right to us. Oh, you were all over.
No, he's got it. He's got it.
There you go. 1 o'clock.
Going this way.
In the dark grass.
Right here. Real close.
I got it,
Real close.
I got it.
Right there.
Nice job, Tom.
Yes, sir. The old shell
Mason
key
on 'em.
bonefish. Thank you, Mason.
Nice cast, good eyes. There's so many muds, so many places to look.
Yeah,
Up that right there. Okay, I see the school, Rich. Behind the boat, off my push pole. It's gonna be a launch. We can catch them later, maybe. They're hauling ass. I don't think you're gonna get a shot.
It's all right. We can catch them one at a time for now.
For now. I love that. I love the qualifier.
Wow, he took a big run. Look at how far out he
He
is.
did take a big run.
That was a good bunch of fish there, man.
Yeah.
I actually got really lucky on that one because I had weeds on my there were
I
weeds
saw
on
that.
my
It
shrimp.
came off on your
And I
cast.
thought, man, I'm gonna throw a hard back cast here and hope this comes off because I don't have time to get them off.
Right.
And they came off, at least enough.
Boy, that was a quality mudding school, though.
Oh, yeah.
They were just
Yeah, they
digging
were-
it up, rooting the bottom,
Right. They were mudding up and just swimming right through it.
hiding in the glare. We were like, there's too much mud. It must be a bonefish or a ray.
This one's nice like yours, man.
Scan the QR code to get more information on this product and buy one for yourself.
People are always asking me, you know, where'd you catch them? It's not just where did I catch them, but it's when exactly did we catch them. And not just the time of day, but the exact water height. Tides are everything. There's such a short window of opportunity. These redfish, these snook, bonefish, these fish come in and out the flats. They're there and then they're gone. So knowing this precise water level is really everything. So on this Lowrance unit, the tide stations are everywhere, and you can go click on that tide station and get the exact water level to when you caught those fish. So we've been putting that information in there, and it really helps. A great example is here. I go to this spot that we found these redfish on. I marked it 1.7 falling tide, 67-degree water temperature. And then after I make the waypoint, I'll go to the nearest tide station. This is the one at Flamingo. Click on that, Flamingo tide. And here it is. It's showing me the exact tide stages. So I can see where I'm at that exact time. It was 10:47 a.m., boom, 0.59. So whatever the tide height is, when we're making that mark, go check it and then label that into your tides when you're making your marks. It's gonna really help you make sure you know the exact water level that you were at when you're catching those fish. That's a nice fish. He's fighting like even bigger than the one I have.
Could be. I like to catch them just a little bit bigger than you. It's one of my favorite things to do.
The Hawks K Saltwater Experience, presented by Yellowfin, is brought to you by Yellowfin. Live deeper. Hook, unite all anglers. Tackle Direct, the world's premier fishing outfitter. Yeti, built for the wild. Islamorada in the Florida Keys. And by Golden Boat Lifts. Power Pole Move. Nikon. Lithium Pros. And Live Water Sports.
Did you know you can get every episode of Saltwater Experience completely free on Waypoint TV? Go to waypointtv.com and find out how you can download the app or find it on any smart TV. And if that's not enough, you can find the Tom Rowland podcast on Apple, Spotify, or anywhere you find podcasts. And we'd love to have you as a follower on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube.
He ain't done yet.
This is the smoothest reel I've ever used.
That's awesome.
You might come around to the, probably want to stay mobile here.
Okay. I love fishing for bonefish. Hunting bonefish is by far my favorite thing. I grew up sitting on the cooler on my dad's boat with him and his friends and watching them catch double-digit bonefish on fly downtown Islamorada, at Holiday Isle, up in Key Largo. Unfortunately, we don't really have that fishery anymore. We had a freeze in 2010 and all the fish kind of disappeared. And there's a lot more small fish around than there was, and they're getting bigger and bigger every year. Starting to see tailors in a little bit deeper water, and they're at the same spots they were 20, 30 years ago. So there's something with their ancestors and whatever food source. They know they're going to go back there. So hopefully they'll grow up to be the same size their grandparents were.
Making us dance.
Yes, sir.
The bonefish spot we went to, super historical, legendary bonefish spot. There's been tons of big fish caught there, tournament winning fish, record fish. It's right downtown in Islamorada. It's definitely not a secret spot, a ton of people know about it. I like to fish there at the bottom of the tide. The fish seem to get pushed off the flat and they're swimming up and down the edge and out in the deeper water making big muds, and that's exactly what we found. We found a big house mud, we found a couple schools of mudding fish, and we were able to get 2 out of there.
Well, they are just
He
amazing.
is just a little bit bigger.
Yeah, that's a bonefish.
That's a bonefish.
That's awesome. That one's bigger.
Pound for pound.
Rich, grab this. You have some experience here grabbing these fish on this particular flat. Let's see if you can remember how to do it.
Wow.
That is sick.
That's nice fish there.
It's a fat one, boy.
That's nice.
I love it.
Mason, that's awesome, dude. Wow.
Try to minimize the handling here.
There you
He
go.
is good
He's
to
ready.
go.
Nice work.
Way to
Good
go,
fish.
everybody. Team effort.
awesome.
Awesome, man.
Team effort. Thanks, man.
You're making this look easy because it's not. I know, it's not.